Hey, this is Van Silk, Common Sense with Van Silk. Let me introduce you all to Jasmine Crockett and AOC. Movers and shakers in politics. One is a senator, one is a congresswoman. But I want y'all to sit back and enjoy them, support them, follow them. I'll be right back.
So Trump, he constantly has my name in his mouth. I'm not really sure why. You are the president of the United States. Like, you have other things to do, but clearly you are constantly obsessing over me, trying to figure out what it is that I'm doing, constantly concerned. I guess that, I'll run against you in 2028. I don't know. All I know is no, sir, you will not get a third term. That's not going to happen. I mean, the Supreme Court going to have to find a big boy and big girl panties and do what's right. The Constitution is very clear, sir. And frankly, you never should have had one term. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, you were never qualified to be president of the United States, not once, but definitely not twice. And your incompetencies are showing. Your own people, yes, my home girl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is also very disappointed in you. Listen, you are a loser. And unfortunately, we all are being dragged down with you in your loser ways. But I got something for you. The American people are more resilient and more intelligent than you ever will be. So I truly believe we're going to bounce back. I think that there are more people that just were not engaged in this election. And I think because you're doing such a bad job, a lot more people are going to be engaged. And he knows this too, which is why he wants to rig the midterms by redistricting through Ohio and North Carolina and Missouri and Florida. And he did call South Carolina and Indiana and Texas. This is why you are going everywhere you can if you can pick up 1 seat or 2 seats. But I got news for you. Those people that voted for you, that believed in you, that believed that you actually gave a damn about them, they are finding out that you don't. So I truly believe that there is plenty of buyer's remorse. And people will say, listen, I may not like this person that's got a D in front of their name, but at least I knew that I could feed myself and feed my kids. At least I knew that I could send my kids to a school. At least I knew that I had a job that I could go to. Those people may say, I may not like a lot of stuff about this person with a D in front of their name, but I have to make sure that I do something better, which means that, yeah, we need to elect Democrats up and down the ballot and release those Epstein files. Yeah, because we ain't letting up. We're not letting up.
Woke up looking for the
Queens, we gather here today at both a perilous moment for our country and on the precipice of hope for our city. Because in 9 short days, we will work our hearts out to elect Zohran Kwame Mamdani as the next mayor of the great city of New York. We are a working people's borough in a working people's city. And all of that makes us a fascist worst nightmare. This is America, New York City. Don't let them tell you any different. Don't let them tell you that we are the exception. We are the rule. We are the standard. And we set the bar for America. I'm talking to you, Donald Trump. That is why the election of Zohran is as important as our cause today. Childcare, buses, rent, and our rights. New York City is the center of all that is possible in America. And on November 4th, we will prove that to the world and we will prove it to the nation.
Another day with your brother Van Silk. Okay, today's topic is going to be on politics. And if we want to know what's going on in this world, we all got to start paying attention. I'm going to talk about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and Senator AOC. Both young ladies. Trump called them low IQ. I want to know what that means. But listen, first of all, They have YouTube channels. I need you to follow them. Follow their Instagram. Build their subscribers base up. And also make sure you follow us at Common Sense with Van Silk, because these young ladies are on the Democratic side, and they have a lot of initiative going on. Yes, they are aggressive. You have to be aggressive in trying to get for your constituents and for the people that vote you in office. Now, we know Stephen A. Smith had some things to say about Jasmine Crockett, and he came back and apologized. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with authoritarianism. We're dealing with a dictator's-like type situation going on right now. And these young ladies can do what they can do for their areas, but we got to support them. You got a lot of young Caucasian Republicans out here supporting the Republicans. We as people of color need to make sure that we follow these young ladies and listen to them and support them, because they can add a whole lot, not only to our generation, but to their generation, to Generation Z for the future. A lot of these older politicians need to retire. You know, some of them hold on to these jobs because of the pay. They're not looking to enact any bills and laws. And you see what's going on right now. Food stamps is ready to expire tomorrow, unless the Republicans want to come in and act like they saved the day. But also expiring is the Affordable Care Act. A lot of people didn't know that was Obamacare, for those who really are not thoughtful of their brain and understanding the difference between Obamacare and the Affordable Care Act is the same thing. Just like SNAP and food stamps is the same thing. A lot of you voted against your own self in the general election last year. I guess Kamala Harris wasn't good enough for you. But what I want y'all to sit down and support Jasmine Crockett, AOC. And what I'm gonna do, because they do reach out to the people, but you gotta want to come back and listen to them, find out what they're talking about, and we gotta relate this to the younger generation. So this is Van Silk with Common Sense. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later.
Trump believes that if you don't vote for him, he doesn't have to be your leader. That if you didn't vote for him, that you don't deserve good things to happen to you. I don't care if someone voted for me or not. I don't care if someone is a Republican or an independent or a Democrat. I don't care if someone likes me or not. That will never change the fact that I'm going to fight for them to have health care. I want MAGA to have health care. I want MAGA to be paid a living wage. But he doesn't want people who are Democrats, or he doesn't want people based on their political affiliation to benefit. And that is the difference between a strongman and an authoritarian and a leader of a democracy.
I don't know what black woman hurt him in his past, honey, but it is really taking him through it. Listen, he's never been known to be an Einstein. This is not a guy who got in on merit when it came to going to college. This is someone who, but for him being born with a silver spoon, probably wouldn't have got into anybody's institution, unlike me. So, you know, I am not worried about that. And I wish people would look at the fact that you have a president of the United States who consistently is obsessing over two women of color that are members of the House. You are the president. You have a lot more power than we do, but obviously you consistently feel threatened. And that is why we have seen you know, the attacks on black women in general from this administration. I don't know what black woman hurt him in his past, honey, but it is really taking him through it. But I really wish, for the sake of this country and honestly for the sake of the world, that he would focus on his real job and stop worrying about me. My constituents will worry about whether or not I have an adequate IQ, even though that's not the test that he's taking. And it's up to them to decide. It's not him. He can't hire me or fire me, unfortunately for him.
Once again, this administration is making a foolish mistake by saying that they think that investments in housing and in energy are so-called Democrat priorities. cutting the EPA as a Democrat priority. You know what this country looked like before the EPA? Rivers in rural areas were on fire because of corporations poisoning the people who lived in those areas. Poor middle-class communities getting poisoned and dumped on by corporations like Deloitte and 3M, pouring chemicals into these places. And they want to call it a Democratic priority. And that's why they want to eliminate the FDA. Well, you know what? You're damn well right that it's a Democratic priority to keep people from getting poisoned, from identifying dangerous chemicals that are being dumped and causing cancer in people without their knowledge. You're damn right that it's a Democratic priority to bring down the cost of housing and mortgages and rent. And you're damn right that it's a Democratic priority to raise the minimum wage in this country, to allow people to get a fair shot at the American dream. If they want to say that that's a Democratic priority, they're right. And they are targeting all of us with this. And so I do think it's important for us to remember that, and that these priorities are actually not partisan at all.
Yes, we will get rid of your health care so that we can go and bail out Argentina. Yes, we will get rid of your food that is on your table, whether we're talking about the farmers who are not going to be able to put food on our tables because there are record bankruptcies that they are filing right now, or if we're talking about SNAP benefits. Like, they seemingly, it is a matter of we've got the king and he's just all about eating his cake. And don't worry about the poor little peasants. But that's where...
Hey everyone, it's Rep AOC. I'm out here at Stevenson Commons in the Bronx. And one of the reasons why I'm here is because while the government is shut down, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has refused to call the House back into session. And so if he doesn't want us in Washington, D.C., I'm going to make sure that we're doing our work here. I'm going to visit someone in our community. Her name is Milagros. And Milagros relies on an essential plan, which is one of the key healthcare programs that are going to be eliminated due to the Republican changes in Medicaid and the ACA and healthcare overall.
So I'm taking Monjaro, and I'm taking Jardians, and I'm taking Metformin.
These are very expensive medications. And you're telling me that you started skipping doses.
Yeah, skipping doses, even though I told my doctor because I was on it, he said, don't do that. You're going to kill yourself.
And so these are all your medicines that you take.
High blood pressure, diabetes. Without the insurance, it's going to be a lot of money.
So all of this every month costs you about $20.
Yes.
Because of the essential plan that you have right now.
Yes, yes.
And now, because of these Republican changes,
it's going to be eliminated.
And I can't even imagine how much all of this is without that.
It's a couple of thousands.
So you're going to go from paying $20 a month to potentially paying over.
I'm not going to be able to pay. So I got to get me 3 different jobs.
I mean, more than that.
Yeah.
Your health insurance is getting eliminated because of these Republican changes. And so you, in anticipation of that, you are stretching out your medicine.
Not only we pay for medication, we also have to pay our bills.
And the Con Ed bills are going up.
Exactly.
What I hear from a lot of my Republican colleagues is, if you're already on Medicaid or if you're already on a plan like this, you have nothing to worry about. They're saying we're only going after fraudulent people, but Milagros.
That's not what I'm seeing. That's not what I'm seeing every day.
You are working. You also have significant medical conditions. We cannot allow healthcare, medicine to become a luxury good.
And I pray for God to just keep fighting for us, to give you health and everything. Okay? Because you do a lot for us. She advocating for our health plans, medical coverage.
I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times. I don't like him. I don't like that he going out there and he firing people. I think that he's a crook because somehow the rest of us can't sit around and get whatever federal contracts we want. The rest of us can't sit around and get law enforcement and get them somehow ordained as federal law enforcement to protect him. The rest of us can't get our dealerships protected by the federal government. That is somebody that is operating above the law. For whatever reason, just because he has a lot of money, more money than everybody else. And yes, I am happy to see that on my birthday, which is what I said, there were peaceful protests around this world against him because he is a problem. And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law. The reason that our party, or I won't even say our party, our country is torn apart is because we can't even agree on right versus wrong. This should not be left versus right. The only thing that we're asking is that we have law enforcement that will show up when there is an actual crime. If somebody calls and says, hey, I need you to investigate this cyber crime, or I need you to investigate this child pornography, or I need you to investigate this robbery, then we want somebody to show up, and we don't want them to look at us and act as if just because I'm black or because I'm woman that I am not worthy of having that case investigated, because we have an administration that is continuously railing against diversity, equity, and inclusion, or we don't need people that show up that feel like diversity should not be valued. That is why we should have somebody that may show up and looks like me. The final thing that I'll say, because you've been gracious, is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy. And I said, let me tell you something. When I walk in, I'm going to walk in with a level of rapport and understanding that maybe some of my other colleagues will not. Charlie offered me my job, and I worked my butt off, and I worked really, really hard for all of my clients, not just those that look like me. And that is what it looks like